Yes, guys, yes, people, welcome back to Light Talks Football and welcome to your match reaction for Nottingham Forest nil, Chelsea 3. But before I talk about the game and how I felt, I want to sing this song to you. Work hard again, ole ole. Work hard again, ole ole. Work hard again. Work hard again. Work hard again, ole ole. And the reason why I'm singing that song to you guys is because it's another work hard in the Premier League. And it's going to go to one player, which I predicted, and I got that spot on. And that player, for me, should have been off. Should have been off. But we'll get to who that is in just a minute. I want to talk about this game today. So obviously, Caicedo didn't start, and there was no Enzo because he had an injury, and Neto was a doubt, but he started today. And yeah, in that first half, by the way, people, it was boring, it was dead, it was just not good to watch, especially by both teams. And I was so frustrated in that first half because Nottingham Forest had three chances in that first half. And do you know where it came from? Our mistakes, our error. It has nothing to do with Nottingham Forest, play some good football, causing a threat to us. It was our mistakes that led Forest to have those chances. And we could have been 2-0 down at half time because Morgan Gibbs White had two clear cut chances and he couldn't score both of them. And they had two shots on target. Sorry, no shots on target. Actually, no, they had two in the first half. We've already had one in that first half, and those errors came from Malo Gusto first, then Chalaba, then Achimpong. You could probably say Lavia, but Achimpong tried to feed it to Lavia, but he couldn't go to him. The first error was Malo Gusto. Gave the ball away, allowed Awayi to go through on goal, puts it wide. The second chance, Chalaba gives it to thinking maybe Gibbs White or Moello or Williams, puts it wide. And then the third error, Josh Ajupong tried to fit it to Lavia, but Morgan Gibbs White was through on goal, couldn't pass it past Sanchez. No shots on, no goal. Then a minute later, the best chance for Forest was Morgan Gibbs White again. Tries to put it on the top of the net, in the back of the net, sorry, but couldn't score. And I tell you what, big up to Matisse here because he was saying this at half time. We've been so lucky that Forest hasn't been good in the final third because if Chris would have started this game, he would have scored those chances for Forest. He would have, because last season Chris Wood scored more than 20 goals in the Premier League. So we're lucky that he didn't start today. Otherwise, it could have been 2-0 at half time. And then I'll be thinking to myself, how can Chelsea turn it 1 in the second half? What can we do? You know? But I want to say this as well. Forest fans, especially Roofy, hold that. Hold that. Because you, yeah, didn't even test Sanchez in this game. Of course, he had made some saves, but he only made one save. And that was against Mikalenko. That was the one time that Sanchez made the save. Mikalenko. That's the only time. If I was a Forest fan, I'll be fuming. Because you know that Robert Sanchez is still one of the worst goalkeepers in the league. And you allowed him to keep a clean sheet. At home. At your ground. Yeah, you Forest fans are absolutely embarrassing. And listen, I wish Ange Postecoglou could stay. But as of the 18th of October, he is getting sacked. Because before this game, there are reports that are saying Ange Postecoglou is on the verge of sacking if he loses to Chelsea. And you can see that their owner, Monarchy, left out of the director's box, went straight to the tunnel. And I know both him and Ange will have similar conversations. So, Forest fans, how does it feel, yeah, to be sacking Nuno and winning in Ange? Because last season, yeah, Nuno did well. He did well. Got Forest into the semi-finals of the FA Cup. Took them into seventh place, but they won the Europa League because of what Crystal Palace situation turned out to be. Yes, they almost going to the Champions League, but at least they're going to Europe, which is better than nothing. So for me, I didn't get why they sacked Nuno, bringing in Ange, but you know what? I do not care. Because guess what? Ange Postecoglou simply cannot get to win against Chelsea. I'll tell you the stats. 5 games against Chelsea. 0 wins, 0 draws, 5 defeats. So 0 points in 15 games against Chelsea. So Ange, it's just who you are, mate. It is just who you are. You simply cannot beat this Chelsea team without Cole Palmer, without our best players. No Enzo. Cole Caicedo didn't even start. Levi Colwell, who scored in last season, like going to the Champions League, wasn't in the squad. ACL. Badishil, who looked good against Liverpool, didn't start. And you couldn't beat Chelsea with Malo Gusto in the midfield. So guess what? Ange and Nottingham Forest fans deserve this because they told us last season they're going to finish above Chelsea. Well, guess what? That ain't happening. And as it stands right now, people, Nottingham Forest are 17th. And guess what? That's what happened to Tottenham last season. After 38 games, they were 17th. And guess what, people? If Burnley, who have they got today? Oh yeah, beat, if Burnley beat Wolves, and if West Ham beat Brentford on Monday night, and if Wolves can get their first win away to Sunderland, Forest might be bottom of the league because Burnley and West Ham on 4 points. They win, they go above them on 7 points. And if Wolves beat Sunderland away, not only would they get their first win, but they'll be above Forest as well. And because of goal difference, Forest have -10, Wolves have -9. So they could be bottom of the league. Bottom of the league. After having a great last season, they're now back fighting for survival. Like, Ange Postecoglou deserves this. So, Big Ange, if you are sacking, bye-bye. Bye-bye. I hope you play Chelsea. Like, let me say this as well. Ange Postecoglou, can we play you every week? Can we play you? Because you are the only manager that simply cannot beat Chelsea. Simply cannot. There's no points at all against Chelsea. You can beat Liverpool. You beat Liverpool. You beat Man United. You beat Man City. You beat all of these teams. But you simply cannot beat Chelsea. You man can hold that. But enough of Nottingham Forest. Let's concentrate on Chelsea. So yeah, like I said, the first half, absolutely boring. Cuckoo and Reece James were the only players that done their thing. Neto was okay. His cost. The only thing I was frustrated about Neto was his costing today. Garnacho for me was dead. This guy was so slow. His decision making was poor. This is why I didn't get why we signed him. I didn't get it. Like, you can have a good performance against Liverpool, but once you don't do what, but where was this for the game today? Absolutely nowhere. Nowhere to be seen. So Garnacho for me was poor. Andre Santos should have scored. And by the way, people, this game could have been 4-3 Chelsea because Williams, hit the crossbar in the second half. This could have been a thriller, like a 7 or 9 goal thriller if both teams had their chances. Because Andre Santos had 2 chances and he missed 2 of them. And both of them came from João Pedro, So for me, Andre Santos should have scored in this game. Should have scored. but he didn't. And João Pedro should have got at least 2 assists, but he doesn't. He doesn't do that at all. So yeah, but the first half, boring dead, just sideways, backwards, just no threat from us. João Pedro, once again had no shots in this game. But listen, another game down to 10 men, and another game where he's put as a false nine. So I'm not. So for me, I'm still going to give João Pedro time. I'm still going to give him time. But listen, I never want to see João Pedro in a 10, in a false nine game. Put him in a 10. I've been crying out for this since I believe the Brentford game or maybe the Man United game. Put João Pedro in a 10 and start Mark Guru, because when he came on, you know he had chances to score. He had chances to score, but at least he made some good ones. And there was a time where he acted like Diego Costa and made push Murillo there, and he could have scored, but the assistant gave that as a foul. So at least Moguru did something in this game. So you know what I mean. Obviously, João Pedro will not be featured in the game against Ajax because he's suspended. So I'm hoping and praying that this is an opportunity for Mark Gui to get a start at home against Ajax this Wednesday. It's as simple as that. It's simple as that. But I'm just hoping, yeah, that Mark Guru is alright, because I saw him do it like this, holding up his chin. Now, there are also reports that he's taking some tablets so that he can be okay. And I'm hoping Mark Guru is fine. Because if he's not available for the game against Ajax, then that means we got no striker. Because Liam Delap is still injured. And potentially Mark Guru might not be available for that game against Ajax. So that's why for me, I've been saying this to Terry and I've been saying it to you guys. Only Sam Liam Delap is not going to be the solution. Because imagine he gets injured and who else have we got? So for me, this is why we should have got another striker, another centre back, another goalkeeper during the summer transfer window, but we didn't. And we should have gotten a better and a proper left winger, but we didn't. But enough of that one. So there we go. But yeah, first half boring, but the second half much better. Much better from Chelsea. We started to pass the ball really quickly. We looked more for threat. I would everyone in the second half improved. Neto, like I said, the first half he was okay, but the second half much better. Brilliant cross. To find Josh Anchepong, which headed us in to make it 1-0 in the 48th minute. And by the way, I want to big up Josh Achimpong because he scored his first ever Premier League goal for Chelsea. And what a way to do that. What a way to do that. So yeah, brilliant header from Josh Achimpong. And he's another defender that scored in the City ground just like Lethal Cole did last season. And both came in the 49th minute. You know what I mean? So there we go. And I'm thinking to myself, after 1-0, could this be the same result as last season? I think so, but let's hope we can score more goals. And then 3 minutes later, we scored from a free kick. We scored from a free kick. Obviously, João Pedro wins it for us. And then Pedro Neto and Reece James were both talking to each other. And this is where I'm going to big up Reece James because he's been thinking to himself, you know what? I can't score from that range. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pass the ball to Neto and let's hope he can, score from that. And that's exactly what happened. Reece James passed it, makes a small pass to Neto, and then Neto whips it in, past Mabsells into the bottom right-hand corner, 2-0 in the 52nd minute. And by the way, Mabsells could have done better, but that free kick was absolutely special. And yeah, Pedro Neto went from a provider to a finisher. What a freak that is for Pedro Neto, and that makes it 2-0. Then the third goal, SFL, whips it. We know he scored from another set piece this time, and this time it's from a corner. SFL whips it in. Maxwell punched it away, but the ball went straight into Reece James. Took the shot for the first time, past Maxwell, straight down the middle. 3-0 Chelsea, and game over. I like to say this as well in terms of substitutions. There was some I liked, but there's one I particularly didn't like. So you're obviously at halftime, we took off Lavia for Moise Caicedo, Garnacho off for Jamie Gittins, and Andre Santos for Mark Guru. And I would have thought that Mark Guru would be playing up top and then João Pedro in the 10, but it looks like it was the other way round. João Pedro's still playing in the false nine, and Mark Gould's playing in the 10. Now for me, Caicedo came on and looked good. Jamie Gittins, especially defensively, he was doing good as well, but haven't seen much of him in this game, but he did do good defensively. Mark Guru, like I said, made some good ones, had chances to score. So I thought he was good when he came on. And yeah, and so yeah, SFL came on, you know, was part of the Reece James goal. And yeah, Tosin just came on the 81st minute and for Josh Archipon and just had to make sure that we keep a clean sheet because Nottingham Forest created chances, after us being 2-0 up. So there we go. So yeah, really good performance in the second half. A good win for Chelsea. But yeah, the first half was absolutely dead, and we got Ajax next, and that's going to be a difficult game. And I also keep saying this as well. It looks like Chelsea are becoming second half FC because usually we do well in the first half, like we did against Brighton. Second half we fell up and we lose the game. Then today's game, first half boring, dead. If you guys went to sleep in that first half, I don't blame you because it was so boring. But the second half, after substitutions, much better. Much better. Scored 3 goals, 2 from set pieces, kept a clean sheet as well. And yeah, so listen, in terms of the players, like Robert Sanchez, I can't really have a go at him because his distribution was good and he made a good save from Milenkovic for that one, and he kept a clean sheet. So yeah, fair play to Sanchez. Reece James deserves man of the match. I would have given both him and Neto because both of them have gone from both got 1 goal, 1 assist, but Reece James did really good in this game defensively, and he even scored as well. And by the way, he also scored on his 200th appearance for Chelsea. So big up to Reece James, man. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant for that one. Who else? Cookware, I think he done well. Who else? Josh Achipong. The first half, he was shaky, but the second half, way better, and he even scored as well, the 80-year-old, so big up to him. Chalobah, I mean, also shaky as well, also gave the ball away in the first half. Second half, he was way better. Who else? Neto, I talked about him. João Pedro, could have got 2 assists in this game if Andre Santos would have scored from those chances. Other than that, still had no shots, but like I said, he's not playing the 10, which I desperately wanted him to do. So there you go. Yeah, Neto. Third, yeah, actually I talked about him. Garnacho awful. Gusto very bad today. And by the way, people, if you guys watched before this game, if you guys were in the live watch along, I told you guys, yeah, that I have this sick feeling that Malo Gusto will be the next Chelsea player to get a red card. He'll be the next one. And lo and behold, I was correct. I was correct. And this my only negative for this one. Why was Malo Gusto not off the pitch? Why? He was awful in the first half. Gave the ball away, and Forest could have scored, had 2 stupid yellow cards, which both of them were yellow cards, It was so stupid. For me, Malo Gusto should not be in the starting lineup every game, especially in the Premier League. Never put him. If you want to put him against Wolves, then that's fine. But I don't want to see Malo Gusto playing this game. Either you put him as a right back or maybe one centre back, or you don't start him because every time I see Gusto in the midfield, he just gives the ball away and he does some silly things. And now he's the 4th Chelsea player to get sent off. Third Chelsea player in the Premier League to get sent off. Because Sanchez did against Man United, Chalobah against Brighton, now Malo Gusto, today. And that's why I've been singing the song Red Card again, ole ole. Because we seem becoming Red Card FC. If you look at the last 6 games in all competitions, we have 5. We have 5 if one could Enzo Maresca in a game against Liverpool. Like, I don't know what's going on with Chelsea right now, but this needs to stop. It needs to stop. It really needs to stop. And you know what, yeah? I feel like I feel like Chelsea need to do. I feel like I need to do the football challenge the way Saeed did, because Saeed is doing 2 game challenge. Is simply making sure that Man United win 2 games in a row, which they can't do. Maybe I'm gonna have to do like Saeed. I need to see Chelsea, finish the game without a red card. Just one one game without a red card challenge. That's what I need to do. That is exactly what I need to do. Because I told you that Malo Gusto is next to get a red card, and lo and behold, I was correct. And that's why he should have got off. He should have got off. Now Malo Gusto will not feature in the game against Sunderland next week. You know what I mean? So for me, from now on, either if you want to start Gusto, put him as right back, or don't start him at all. Do not, because he was awful today, and I didn't get why Ladford came off instead of Gusto, because Gusto was way bad than Lavio in this game. You know what I mean? But listen, where Card FC strikes again, the next game we got Ajax, so I expect that game to be another red card. So maybe I'm gonna have to do the red card predictions, because that's who we are. Just like that, it's just who we are, red card FC. But listen, man, but at least that came after 3-0 up. If this was at 1-0, I'll be very worried. Very, very worried. But that red card happened after 3-0. So you know what? I was frustrated, don't get me wrong, but I was also calm, because we were winning this game. I don't see Forest making a comeback, especially on the Ange Postecoglou. So there we go. But yeah, listen, I don't know when the red card FC is gonna stop, but it's gonna continue, man. It's gonna continue. I don't know why that is, but before I end this video, let me read you the stats on that one. So look at this. So Chelsea had more players sent off than any other Premier League team this season. This is the third time Chelsea had 3 players sent off in their opening 8 games in the Premier League season, after 01-02 and 2017 to 18 season. Like, it's just crazy right now. It really is crazy, but it's going to continue, lot. Chelsea fans, it's just going to continue. So we just got to have to accept it. We really got to have to accept it. But we'll see what happens. So yeah, one game without a red card is going to be my challenge for Chelsea, because this red card something ain't going to stop, man. And yeah, like the Chelsea fans were saying, red card again, ole ole. So even though it's weird and funny, it's actually true at the moment, because we simply cannot stop getting red cards every single time. So it is what it is. But anyway, people, that's the end of my match reaction to Forest 0, Chelsea 3. Let me know what your thoughts and feelings in the comments below. Let me know who's your man of the match, and what you make of this game. And let me know if you agree or disagree with anything I said. Make sure you guys like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the bonus notification so they never miss any of my content. And yeah, man, I can just sit down and relax, because my team won this weekend. And yeah, we'll see if any of the big 6 team can win. So Man City got Everton, also got Fulham, Liverpool and Man United play each other. Tottenham got Aston Villa. So let's see who wins this weekend. So there we go. Until then, people, thank you so much for watching. Take care. Goodbye. God bless. And as always, come on, you Blues.